Hello, welcome to the reading room. It's Sylvie here. Today we're doing a tarot reading, and it's on what have they been telling their friends about you? How do they see or how do they feel about you? So, before we get started, for those who like my content, press that like and subscribe, please. And for those who have, thank you very much. Thank you for the support. Timestamp down below. Just press it. Enjoy your reading. And okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So don't forget to just take your time, pause the video. First choice is usually the right one, I would say. And yeah, and sometimes there's more than one message or more than one person you want to listen to. So you can, choose your person and your deck. All right, group 1. So the question here is, what have they been telling their friends about you? How do they feel? So it could be a loved one, it could be a lover, it could be a family friend, whatever, whoever you picked. And we'll see. Okay. Wow. Seems good. Seems very good. They're very happy with you. They enjoy you completely. They have faith in you. Like they believe in what you're doing, what you're saying. They believe in that it will be this happiness, or there's sunshine. So they're very positive about you. They have a real good opinion. They feel that you changed in a positive way, that you've been growing up in a positive way. It depends if it's family, friends, or loved one, or your person. But yeah, and they see that you're very wise and you're family oriented, and you are calm, and you have something inside of you that's really good. So they have positive thinking about you. So what have they been saying? Well, they feel they're right. First of all, they're very right on what they say, and they definitely will stand behind what they will support or stand behind what they feel. And they've been saying that this is ongoing, this never stops, and this is always the way it is, and how things are. But they feel that you're very good. You have a lot of good in you. You also have some maybe some faults, but they feel that the good outweighs the bad. But at the same time, you have sometimes you don't know where what you want to do, or where you stand. Sorry, I had to get a drink. But they definitely, it's like you're all over the place. That's what they say. You're all over the place. You don't always make the right decision, or you don't know how to make your decisions, or sometimes you go without making a decision, and they're very flighty. That's one word I'm getting for somebody, if that means anything to you. Yeah, so there's also like the issues aren't all clear. Like things aren't clear. Like, you don't make yourself clear. You have some issues here. That's like you kind of like say one thing, but yet not completely say it. Or you kind of hide some ways you're feeling, but you're basically honest. It's just that you don't always clear on how you feel or what you're saying. So it's not a big criticism. It's but yeah, I felt like I need to pull another card. But yeah, they're misunderstood, or you're misunderstood. What they were saying and how they were saying it was taken out of context. Yeah, it went flying. If you didn't hear of it, you will. It will pass by you. You will hear what they said. But they were talking, basically they were talking about you not being decisive and not being clear on your intentions or what you want, or they didn't understand what you wanted or how you were acting or what it was, and it got taken out of context. It really did, and they flew with it. Like I said, it's going to go past you in some way. You're going to hear of it. It's definitely, but it did get created. It got worse and worse and worse, you know. So it's like a rumor went around or a gossip went around after they spoke. So what's going on? Yeah, they have no idea. They have no idea that this is happening or that happened. And they, like, it's not like, yeah, they don't know what's happening. I get the Lover card. Yeah, they're not going to love this at all. They're not. They're not going to even know what to do about it. Like, for them, it's like, wow, this went out of hand. So, they weren't talking. They really think good about you. They weren't talking bad about you. They just mentioned something, went out of hand. So you will get a hold of that, or you will eventually hear it. But yeah, basically, they want to follow through with. They want to follow through. They definitely love the idea of you. You're like a dream of fresh air, a breath of fresh air. Something about, yeah, they're rethinking their actions or their thoughts, or what they should have done or how they should have done it, and what should be done next. So they're regretting, yeah, because they really think good of you. Oh, excuse me, I don't mean to yawn. I just did. It's not your reading. It's the energy. It's like really heavy. Like they really feel that it's heavy for them. Like the burden of this rumor that went around. Like whether you know it or not, or whether you know. When they find out, I mean, because they don't even know themselves, you don't know. They just casually talked about what they were feeling, and they mentioned that, and other people flew with it, like usual, you know. So, but basically, they really support you. They, like I said, they think you're great, just not clear, and it could be their insecurities or what they're feeling. So let's find out more, I guess. Let's find out if there's another message for you. Let's find out about how far they took it. Oh, it's nothing that bad. It's really not that bad. They mostly talked about them more than you. They talked about what they said, but they embellished. I'm picking up. Playing pick up. Yeah. Well, they're again, they want to make it okay. They want to fix that, or think about what they said, or they want to reflect on it. They will reflect on it. Will they correct it? That's what I want to know. Yeah, they're going to reflect on what's happened. They definitely not going to take it anywhere. So they're thinking about stuff. They're just going to keep it to themselves. They're not even going to talk about it. they're kind of like regretting that they talked, and they're not going to go around and talk more. So they don't say much about you. They just spoke out. They were thinking how great you are, but this was one of your negative, or one of the traits that they weren't sure about, or they didn't know, and they spoke out, and that's basically it. So that's not too bad, actually. They're not saying, their opinion of you is so awesome, so good. Let's see what's going on here. Why? Yeah, that's what they're asking. Why? Why did they say that? Why was that put out there? Why exactly? So you got to ask yourself why. They're not giving any more. So you have to ask yourself, why did this happen? Like, why did they think this about you? So you're going to need to clear it up. Like, it needs to be talked about and cleared up, figured out, bring it up, bring the issue up, and ask them. Interesting. Okay, group number 2. Let's see what's going on. Sorry, losing my voice. Okay. So, yeah. They're like wondering. They're like wondering what the frig. Like they really like wondering what to do. What exactly is happening. They're thinking. They're wondering, thinking, checking it out, figuring it out. So the question is, what have they been telling others? You know, what have they been telling your friends about you? How do they really feel? Well, don't forget to pick up your person too. You know. Could be your family, friends, loved one, partner. Yeah, they're thinking, wondering. What are they thinking and wondering about? Like, what is it? Well, you know, like they've been. It's like they're thinking. They're constantly wondering what's going on, planning, or they feel like you plan. You're always planning and plotting, and you have some agenda. So that's what they're checking out. Now I get it. They're checking out what exactly you're thinking about, what you're feeling, what you're doing, how come, why this, why that. You know, like they want to know what's up, and they always feel like that's what's going on with you. You know, and they call you out on it sometimes, or they want to support what you're doing, but they really want to know. They want to be part of it. And they're telling people that you're full of ideas, full of thoughts, full of, you're always plotting. You always have something. They're telling people that you always have an agenda, that you always have something behind your mind. Any action you do, there's a reason. Like, you just don't do things like on a whim. And you don't share, and you don't tell people exactly what's behind your mind, or you're not 100% honest in what you're thinking, you know, or what you're going to do, or how you are. There's always, like, for them, there's always something, and it's always goal related. It's like you going to obtain something for yourself, or you want something for yourself, or you have, like, it's, you know, it's all about you, your ideas, your wants. And so they're complaining. Oh, wow. Yeah, you know, like, it takes 3, they say. It takes more than one. It takes knowing, I guess. It takes or it's too much. It's been too many times. So they're really suspicious. So they may even go as far as wondering if you have someone else, or there's someone else in your life. So for those who are talking about best friends, do you have another best friend? If those are talking about lovers, do you have another lover? For those who are talking about family and friends, then you Obviously, it's not someone else, but it's definitely something else. You know, there's other things. Yeah. And you really believe in what you're doing. You believe that you're being good. You believe that you're being supportive. And you know, you're like a know-it-all. Oh my goodness. You're like a know-it-all. You know everything. Like, it's like, wow. They're gossiping, or they're really like not being, they're not happy. They're not happy. They're not happy, and they're not willing to, so this isn't going anywhere, because they're not happy. They're stressed right out. So they telling their friends that this is not going anywhere. So this friendship is not going anywhere, or it's no good, or it's full of complaints. And if it's your partner, then they're like saying that you're not the one. They're not doing this. This is not how it is. Sorry. I mean, I'm just rambling the messages I'm getting through this reading, and they're also like, if it's family and friends, it's definitely like they had enough of you. They don't care about this. This is what they're going around talking about and saying. They've been watching you and being very suspicious of you. Yeah. They wish they really wish what did they wish? They wish they knew everything. They wish they could figure you out. They wish if you were open, you were open book. So what bugs them is that you're secretive, or that you don't tell everything you're thinking about, and they're fishing, and they're venting to others about how you always have a plan, or there's someone behind you. They had enough of you being secretive, or not explaining. So it's not really so much them saying bad things about you. It's more about them being left out, and venting the fact that they're left out. Now I'm getting it. So they're, it's not that they mean it, or they're really going to leave, or they're going to throw you out of their lives, or anything like that, but they're venting like they want to. They're venting like they mean it and stuff like that, but in reality they want to know everything about you, and they wish you were open to them, and you let them in their world. So really they want to be really close to you, and they want to really be part of your life, and they want to have a real good connection with you, but they're just complaining. Sometimes we do that. We just talk before we think, or we just spill everything we're thinking without really knowing exactly how hurtful it is, or what we could have said. So yeah, they're not being very good. They're really, really talking too much. So what's their message for you? It's not you. You're not like that. There you go. It's not for you, or it's not you. You're not like that, it says. Well, you're not secretive, or you're not, or this person's not for you, or you're not into this, or there's something that's not for you in this pile. So it's going to have to be changed up. You're going to have to fix it. Let me see. I'm going to pull on the card for you. I feel like, usually I don't pull after I took the final message, but I feel like there's more. Like, their intentions, or your intentions, or what's up with all this, how hurtful it is, sort of like that. Besties, best friends, social group. So in your surrounding, in your social group, what's going on? How's it affecting everybody? It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You're going to fix it. You're going to put a stop to this. You're going to fix it. You're going to make everybody happy again. Oh, that's good. Or they're going to. But I feel like it's you going to butt in. Yeah, you're going to succeed. Oh, you're going to fix this issue. You're going to fix it. I have no doubt. So when you get a hold of this, you'll know exactly what it's up. It's really their gossip, what they told everybody, what they talked about is really their way of trying to work out the fact that they want to be closer to you and they want more to do with you and they want you in their world tighter and they don't want to be left out, and they felt left out, so they lashed out. So group number 3, let's see what's going on with you. So the question, oh, don't forget to pick your person, okay? So the question is, what have they been telling their friends about you? How do they feel? Well, they've been telling their friends how strong you are, how you're always on top of things. How they look you in the eye and they're not afraid of you. How even when you push them to the edge or push them to the end, you know, they're still not afraid of you. They hold on to you. They hold themselves to you, even if they don't know how it's going to work out. So you're both strong, both holding your own. They feel like you might even try to bully them if they didn't look you in the eye and let you know that it's not okay. Well, their feeling about you is that you're someone who's high. You have the high standards. You're graceful. You're well put together. They have a really high opinion of you, and you know they also like to be involved with you a lot. They believe in you. They believe in what you're saying. They like to listen. They like to be part of you. They like to be interacted with you. But also they find that sometimes you put a way too much effort into things. Like you extend yourself way too much. You take on too much. You're too much. So there's something about much. Yeah, they told their friends, this is what they're telling their friends, how great you are, how put together you are, but you do too much, or you extend yourself out there, and something about retreating or taking another look at that, understanding, yeah. You're like their wish, like you're like what they want. They fought for you. They actually telling their friends that they took time out to think about how they could be around you or be part of your life, and then they went ahead and manifested or went ahead and got what they wanted, and you're their wish. They worked hard for you. They went and sucked you in their lives and with their they went and planned it. This is what I'm going to do, and it worked, and you're theirs. So they were quite proud of their way. So if this is bestie friends, they tried hard to be in your circle, in your social group, and they're telling people how they managed it or how they succeeded. And if you're a loved one, they're part of your life, or they really look at you in a higher light, or that you're smarter than them or wiser than them, and they look at you in that way, that they want to be part of your life, and they manage to be in your circle, and they're so proud of that. And for those who are talking about lovers, well, they also went looking for you, and they feel like that you're their prize. They worked hard to obtain you, and now you're part of their lives. But you still are someone who does too much. You're too active, but you're also someone to pay attention to. And so they have really good talk or good knowledge about you, and they appreciate you, and they appreciate your way of being, and they believe in you. They believe in what you're saying and what you're doing. So they only talk good about you, but they also brag. They brag that they're in your circle in some way. Wow. they weren't really they weren't happy how they really went about it. You know, they weren't happy how they went ahead and tried to get that. They want a second chance. They didn't want a second chance. So they want it in right away. I guess they didn't want to try hard. and the way they went about it, they weren't really happy, but now they're happy. So they kind of underhandedly went in your circle somehow, or manipulate you into believing them, or they did something, you know, and they went in, and so they're not always all that happy, or they're not happy about how they went around and told everybody that that's what they did. So they kind of like what they said, they're not really all that happy. But it worked out because it's settled and it's good. No harm done, kind of thing. It's just that they felt embarrassed, or they felt like they shouldn't have done that. But the talk itself went well. People took it with a grain of salt, and they just moved on. So they didn't really say anything bad. It's just that they bragged a bit about you, about how they are in your circle. Yeah, they felt kind of stuck and on the outs, you know, and then they didn't really know how to get in there, and then they managed it, and there were some happy. So they don't want to be out at all, and they really want to be part of your life. But the gossip, it wasn't harmful. And what they're saying about you is really good. Basically, they really think highly of you, and they respect you. There's not much here to say, because they just bragged a bit and they were hoping to keep that quiet, you know, because they without you they feel like their lives isn't worth as much. So for someone who's talking about lovers, they're really they're in love with you, or they love you a lot, and they can't see their lives without you, because you make everything feel so good. And if it's best friends, same thing. You inspire them, you know. And if it's a family member, well, they think highly of you, and they also inspired by you. So they don't talk bad about you; they just praised you. So we have 2 cards, and then they mend it. So it's like they're mending their friendship with you, or you're mending the friendship with them. So you're bringing them in, and they're so happy. They look at you. It's like no peace like home. It's you know, it's beautiful. It's couldn't be any better. So this person here is really cherishing you and really enjoying who you are, and they're bringing something to you that's making you feel at peace, making you feel good. The way they look at you, the way they're around you, the way they observe you and absorb you, it's very clear to you that they look up to you, and it makes you feel good. It really it hits home and fulfills you, and that's why you're wondering if they're being loyal, or they're being on your side, and they really are. Okay, so group number 4. See what's happening with you. So don't forget to pick your person, and the question is, what have they been telling their friends about you? How do they feel? You know, so wonderful. They have for them. They plan. There's planning. So, if you have plans, or you told them your plans, or you have thoughts, they've been kind of like, every time you talk, every time you tell them something, they tell someone else, they share it with someone else. So they don't keep quiet about anything that you tell them. Well, yeah, they're kind of jealous a bit. Like they feel like sometimes they wish they had that, or sometimes they take away from you just because, you know, sometimes they get like feeling a bit like resentful, I guess, towards you. And so they lash out. They lash out and they talk about you. And they go ahead and they go, well, you know what they think or what they say. They're dreamers, you know, like they think they're going to do this. They think they're going to do that. So they share their plans. They get a little jealous or envious of you, or they feel hurt that you're talking, whatever you're saying is affecting them, and they feel hurt, and so they lash out, and then they tell somebody else. They vent constantly. Wow. Yeah. They choose what they say and what they don't say. They sometimes say one story and sometimes they say another. It's not always the same. It just depends what mood they're in. So some people are getting certain parts of your story and other people are getting others. Really, they're not keeping it in a good light. And sometimes they talk good about you and sometimes they talk negative about you. It just depends what went on. They're very negative. Their talk is negative. They really they don't see the good. They just see. So for them, your talk is a bit foolish or too much or you know, they don't believe you or yeah. So of all what you're going to do, how great you are, they complain about that. They talk about it a lot. Well, they're not shy or stressed or anything about it. Like they don't even consider that. They don't consider like what you've been working hard on things or you've been doing stuff. They don't consider that either. What they consider is holding on to what belongs to them. So if you're a loved one and they feel that you belong to them, your ideas or your thought, your train of thought or what you want to do seems to be threatening them, and they want to hold on to you, and so they're venting. They're really like trying to tell people, well, this is ridiculous, you know. And if you're a friend or family or even a bestie or friend or you're someone that's part of them in some way, wow. They want to hold on to you, or they think you're foolish by all your plans, you know. They really want to hold on. That's success and support. Yeah. In reality, they want everything to be good between you two because they want to be with you for a long time, or they want to support you. They just can't control themselves. It's just too much for them. You're talking too much. Like you have too many plans, and for them it's too much. Like it's like who do they think they are? Like how do they think they can even do this? You know, that's how they're like. You hear what they're saying next. You hear what they're talking about next. Like they really, everything you tell them, they tell someone else. They don't keep nothing to themselves, and then they think everything's fine, like because they want to be with you, and they're not seeing what they're doing wrong. They think this is fine, you know. But it is because they think you're a bit. For some, I feel like they almost feel like you're being a bit foolish on what you want. Your plans are a bit too big, you know, or you always talk, or you're planning to leave or to go do something else, and they're holding on to you. They're saying, whoa, this can't be happening because they're mine, or they're going to be with me, or they're going to be happy with me, and they're being very negative. They see that if you succeed, that maybe you're leaving them behind. So yeah, they're the way of thinking. They're very negative. So, is there another message? I want to know about this negativity, I guess, basically. No, so what I'm getting is things are gone far. Like they go too far. They talk about everything. Like even the personal things. They really like spill it all. So they talk to a particular person, but they spill everything. They don't keep anything in. So obviously you're suspecting something if you're here if you're asking. So let's see what else there is for you. Yeah, read the book. Wow, they're following you. They're following your story. They're like totally involved with it. They feel like you and them are one. You're inseparable. You belong together. They're acting out. I really feel like they're just going too far because they're afraid to lose you. You're theirs, and they're holding on too tight. So when they hold on with their insecurities, they just start talking, and when they start talking, they say everything. So whoever they're confiding in is like they're part of your circle, or part of your life, in your private life even. It's not good. Group number 5. Let's see what's going on with you. They believe. So what the question, pick your person, and the question is, what have they been telling their friends about you? How do they feel? Well, they believe in something. Something's higher than themselves. They believe in the spiritual guides. They believe in their religion. They believe in something, and or you're the one that's believing in your religion or your spiritual way of being. There's something. Let's find out. So they have an idea. They've been listening. And they feel like they're talking about how you're not, maybe not able to go or able to do something. They do say that how happy you are, how beautiful of a person you have. But you have an idea that they feel that it's not doable. You can't do that. Or it's not obtainable. And even though you're a very good person and you're happy, there's still something you want to do that you've been sharing or come up with that's not feasible. And that's what they're saying. They're talking about that. They feel like you need to be guided and supported and given the strength to succeed. So you need to be guided, because you're misguided here. Like, you're a happy person, but you have this thing that you don't know how to go about doing things, and you need them to guide you. You need them to support you. You need them to bring you along. So they're talking about that. They're talking about something that you're not able to do. You're not even aware that you're not protected. You haven't held back. You haven't protected yourself. You've been wide open. You've been wide open with this person, and they're taking it all in. They want to support you because you've opened right up to them. So they want to be there for you and open up to you. But they wait. They wait for you to tell them, or wait for them to talk to you. Wait for them for some reason, but yet so they really think like good of you, but yet they feel like they need to support you. They're always waiting to support you, to do for you, or to be there for you. And they tell people that. Yeah, they tell people that it's definitely like you don't really know, like you got potential and skills, but you don't know, and by themselves, like you need them to you two together. You can do some of the stuff that you want, but others, they feel that you need guidance. That's basically it. to choose, to choose your future and to be happy and to succeed. So for them, they're just talking about how you need them, and without them you can't succeed. And but you, as a person and who you are, they have all this good stuff about you. Yeah, there's just like a ray of sunshine. You transform yourself all the time. You're caring, you're loving, you're pure, you're beautiful, you have good intentions, you're soft, you're recreating and creating yourself, your surroundings, your people around you. You're like the social butterfly that just brings in the sunshine. But yet when it comes to doing things, to actually accomplishing things, they feel that you need their help to get them moving, to get you moving and to get you on the right path, basically. All right, so I'm going to pull out a message for you. Too many cards. Oops. Yeah. Well, you know what? They may not be wrong. It looks like you do need help to flourish. You do need help to bring yourself up. So they're not wrong. What they're wrong in doing is talking about it. But they're not saying anything that's bad about you. They just see the goodness in you, and they're being honest in the fact that you need some support and you need some help. But they just shouldn't be talking about it to others about it. That's what they shouldn't be doing. But other than that, they're open to you. They're there for you, and they're doing you some good. That's what I'm picking up.